Thank you. Today is Tuesday, July 12th, and the Transportation and Commerce Committee meeting will now come to order. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Vaccaro,
Present.
Alderwoman Middlebrook,
Present.
Alderman Narayan,
Here.
Alderwoman Evans,
Present.
Alderwoman Schweitzer,
Present.
Alderman Graz,
Present, sorry.
Chairman Cone.
Present.
7 present, you have quorum.
Great. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Welcome Alderman Graz to the Transportation and Commerce Committee. It's good to have an additional member here to help us with a quorum from time to time.
Thank you.
I have been on the committee as a member and now chair for all of my tenure actually down at the Board of Aldermen. And I've always found it to be a very enlightening, educational, and entertaining committee. The 3 E's that are important for any good committee. Anywho, welcome aboard. I look forward to working with you as a member of the committee. We have 2 items on the agenda for today's hearing. One is a board bill with respect to the airport. The other one is with respect to Great Rivers Greenway. And the second board, I believe it's sponsored by Alderwoman Middlebrook. We'll go ahead and take up item number 1 on the agenda, which is board bill number 57. It pertains to the airport. And I know we have some speakers from the airport who are present today. I believe Director Strong and Director Hamnurbergi. Oh, Rhonda, I apologize. And I can't find my water. But anywho, we'll go ahead and take up board bill number 57.
Thank you, Chairman Cone, and thank you for pulling this together on a short notice and for everybody being available today. Ron Stella is going to present this board bill. With him is also Chief Collins, who's our airport police chief out here. So any additional questions, we think this is an important one, and we're trying to move it forward to begin September 1st. So Ron, I will turn it over to you for the presentation.
Great, thank you. Good afternoon, Transportation and Commerce Committee members. This is a 5-year equipment and service agreement for integrated conducted energy weapon and body cameras requested by our Airport Police Department, which would begin on September 1st, 2022 and end August 31st, 2027. Conducted energy weapons, also commonly referred to as tasers, are among the safer use of force alternatives to subdue violent individuals who could harm airport police officers, innocent passengers, or themselves. In addition, body cameras have long been a valuable tool in evidence collection, forensic analysis, and have received positive acceptance by both the public and police for mutual accountability. The system planned for the St. Louis Airport Police Department consists of a body camera integrated with a taser-style device for all airport police officers, sergeants, and lieutenants. This system includes a comprehensive training plan, equipment refreshes, evidence management software, digital storage, licensing, and full coverage warranties. The solicitation for bid was released on December 8th, 2021, and bids were due on the January 27th, 2022 deadline. 1 bid was received from Axon Enterprises. Axon Enterprises is a qualified responsive company, submitted the lowest and best bid. Axon Enterprises formed in 1993 as Air Taser. It is a global company providing law enforcement agencies fully integrated systems of conducted energy weapons, body-worn cameras, digital evidence storage, and management. Axon is headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona. Many local police departments are using this integrated package, similar to the one requested by Airport Police, which are St. Charles Police Department, Wentzville Police Department, Chesterfield, Oakview, amongst others. The 5-year contract not to exceed amount is $750,000 with annual encumbrances of $150,000 per year, which provides enough funds for all officers and on-shift command staff, even when fully staffed. The solicitation for bid and award received first step approval with the Airport Commission on June 10th, 2022. I respectfully request your approval of the 5-year service agreement for integrated conducted energy weapon and body camera equipment with Axon Enterprises. I'm available for questions if there are any.
I'll go ahead and go through the committee roster here. Alderman Vaquero,
They have no questions.
Alderwoman Middlebrook,
I have no questions. Thank you.
Alderman Narayan,
No questions. Thank you.
Alderwoman Evans,
I only have one question, and that is, you're saying that the $750,000 covers a 5-year equipment for body cameras and tasers with air tasers?
Yes, ma'am. It's an integrated package. It essentially it's $159 per month per officer, and it's all inclusive of the taser integrated with the body camera and associated equipment and full warranty, batteries, charger, everything like that. Everything is all in one.
Okay. All right, I yield back.
great. Thank you, Alderwoman. Alderwoman Schweitzer.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the presentation and your time. I see in the bill that there is a part of this for training. It doesn't talk a lot about how long the training will be or what kind of training necessarily. So I'd appreciate any more information that you can give on that.
Yeah, they have a whole training program. It's going to be a full day for all officers, and then we're going to do also train the trainer. So our command staff are also going to be able to do recurrent training, and basically we have field training officers that will also be able to train the trainer for new officers. So they're going to come down and do an onboarding for everyone and make sure that we have the training staff in place to train other officers. And then on a recurrent basis, when we're post orders, what do we do? Yeah.
General orders.
Our general orders will cover additional training, and then the field training officers have to sign off on everybody, and then we do round the training of everything every year. So we're pretty confident with the system they have. They also have like online modules that we're going to be available to take for refresher, and it was one of the most robust training packages offered from the companies we investigated.
Thank you. Can you tell me, is this a company that works with many airports around the country, or is this just with us? Or
Yeah, there are similar airports to us. For example, DFW, the chief just reminded me, DFW has something like this. And they have a Midwest regional representative here, because a lot of local police departments nearby, like Wentzville, St. Charles, all use this integrated system. And we felt strongly that the approach we wanted to take was the integration of the taser and the body camera, so they all work. If an officer has to release the taser from the holster, the body camera is activated and everything's recorded. So there are a lot of advantages we believe to an integrated approach.
I appreciate that. Have there been, and apologies if these have been all over the news and I've missed it, but have there been incidents in the St. Louis airport in which you believe a taser would have been used in the last few years, or is it, or what has been I guess, what will this be replacing?
Well, it won't be replacing anything. Officers currently have MACE as one of the first steps of the first step of their use of force is de-escalation, verbal commands. But as far as a real tool, the real tool would supplement MACE. MACE does get discharged with some frequency. I wouldn't say once a month, but it's in the last couple of years there have been more and more occurrences of people resisting arrest in the city and at the airport, coming in sometimes on the Metrolink or here. So we do need to protect our officers and protect the people causing the disturbance potentially. We don't know if it's drugs or other things, but there's just a lot more resisting arrest cases. Also says onboard aircraft. Yeah, the chief brings up a good point. Is for airports, on the airport side of it, traditional law enforcement would be MACE. On the aircraft side of it, we never want to release. We want to try to avoid releasing MACE at all costs on board an aircraft because of the proximity to other passengers, but also it takes that aircraft out of service has to be specially cleaned, is a major loss of revenue for our airline partners. So this is just another tool to hopefully mitigate that issue. It's another tool. It doesn't really replace anything though.
Right.
Okay.
Hopefully that made sense.
One additional comment I may make with that, if it's all right with you, Chairman, is just that, I think if you look at just the incidents around the country this year, that relative to aviation, a lot of it has to do with the mask and people that believe or don't believe in it and the controversy around it. So I think all the airports have taken a little stronger look at, is this going to be something that stays with us for the future? And if so, just being more proactive in how we address it in the best manner forward. And I think the important thing is not only does the staff support this, but the officers and the chief supports it. So it's something that we have a unified agreement on. That is the best approach, and that doesn't always happen. So I think it's nice that along with the officers, the chief, and certainly with the staff that works with the police department day in and day out, everybody's in support of the same approach.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate you jumping in. I think those are all my questions. I appreciate the thought that went into this and the time to answer my questions. Thanks.
Of course. I'll also just on that note, make a side note that any legal agreements that come before this committee are usually already reviewed and vetted by the Airport Commission, which is a citizen-based commission that has oversight for the airport. And so, a lot of these questions may seem redundant to some of the staff at the airport, but they're used to that. It's been a process that's been in place for a long time. So feel free to ask away so that we have some surety on our end that we're addressing any concerns that our constituents may have. And with that, the last person on the list, our newest member, Alderman Gross.
Hey, yeah, just two quick questions. And I really should know this, but do officers at the airport now carry firearms, like real guns, or?
Yes, they carry firearms, correct.
Okay. And when you say that, you said that these are integrated, that the taser is integrated with the camera, like how is that, like technologically, are they integrated together? Like when you fire the tasers, it activate body cam or something like that?
Yeah. Correct. They are integrated in the holster. That's the point of the point where they become integrated. So if you took a taser out of the holster, it would turn on the body camera. Also with this package, there's an extra device that's going to be placed on the gun holster. So if an officer draws the gun out of the holster, the body cam also activates. So when we talk integration, those are the type of features we mean.
So the body cams that they'll be wearing won't be turned on unless their weapons are drawn?
No, they would be turned on with any type of stop of an individual. So you could tap it on if you were an officer and you were going to approach a potential suspect or have an issue or a traffic stop. You would turn on the body camera and it would record. But if you approach the scene where you did not preemptively turn on your body camera, it would automatically turn on if you drew your holster or your weapon.
Gotcha. No further questions.
Great. With that, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill number 57.
I move we pass Board Bill 57 out with a due pass recommendation.
Second,
Okay, it's been moved by the Alderman from the 23rd Ward, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 2nd Ward, with the 4th Ward taking, I know, but there's only 1 second. Everyone after that comes in 3rd, 4th, 5th. But I do appreciate the excitement there, because sometimes we do have a bit of a lag time. But
question, did we do the minutes? I'm trying to remember. I could ask for a previous roll if we did, but we did them.
I don't think that we did. Thank you, Alderman. Okay. I'll come back around to that. So we have a motion and a second on the table. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Vaccaro,
Aye.
Alderwoman Middlebrook,
Aye.
Alderman Ryan,
Aye.
Alderwoman Evans,
Aye.
Alderwoman Switzer,
Aye.
Alderman Gross,
Aye.
Chairman Combs,
Aye.
7 aye votes.
Thank you. With that vote, you sustain the motion to pass out Board Bill number 57 with a do pass recommendation. I'm going to go ahead and take up item number 2, and then we'll do the approval of the minutes at the end of the meeting. Board Bill, or item number 2 is Board Bill number 67. It's sponsored by Alderwoman Middlebrook. Alderwoman, are you prepared to present on this today? Or we can hold it as well. My apologies. Okay, wonderful. Take it away.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of this committee. Board Bill number 67 authorizes an amendment to ordinance number 67403, and this relates to a lease agreement dated back in April 2nd, actually, 2007, to extend the second mutual option between the City of St. Louis and the Great Rivers Greenway District, which is authorizing the execution of a first amendment to lease agreement between the City of St. Louis and the Great Rivers Greenway District for a period of 5 years, with one more 5-year mutual option for land rights in the near North Riverfront neighborhood to be used as a bicycle and pedestrian facility, and for an increase to rent, which would be $5,365.25 per year, then increasing by 3% each year thereafter for the remaining years of the option period. And Mr. Morrow was here for question. He's still here for question if you have any questions.
Great. I'll go ahead and is that James Morrow?
Yes, it is.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, wonderful. Hey, James. Good to see
Hello.
you. Do you have anything additional that you'd like to add?
Not particularly. Alderman pretty much covered it. Great Rivers Greenway, just for those who aren't aware, is a political subdivision that operates several parks and greenways throughout the city, St. Louis County and St. Charles County. The city leases some of its property to Great Rivers Greenway so they can use their, in this case, bike and footpath that exists by the McKinley Bridge up in the near North Riverfront. This is a 5-year extension of an existing lease. There are no changes to the lease terms except for an increase in rents, and the rent increase is from about $4,023 per year to, as the Alderwoman indicated, $5,365 a year.
All right, we'll go ahead and entertain questions from the committee. Alderman Vaquero.
I have no question on that.
Okay. Alderwoman Middlebrook, I'm sure you don't have questions of yourself. Alderman Narayan.
No questions. Thank you.
Alderwoman Evans.
No questions.
Alderwoman Schweitzer.
No questions, thanks.
Alderman Gross.
No questions.
Okay, with that, I'll entertain a motion on Board Bill number 67.
I'll make a motion. We pass Board Bill 67 out with a do pass recommendation.
Second.
Previous roll.
Great. It's been motioned by the Alderman from the 23rd, seconded by the Alderwoman from the 4th Ward that we pass out Board Bill 67 with a do pass recommendation. There's been a call for a previous roll. Is there any objection to previous roll? Hearing no objection to previous roll, Board Bill 67 passes out with a do pass recommendation. All right, we'll take up the approval of the minutes from June 8th. Does anyone have questions about the minutes from June 8th or any corrections?
I move we accept the minutes and previous.
It's been moved by the Alderman from the 23rd Ward that we approve the meeting minutes from June 8th. That was seconded by the Alderwoman from the 2nd Ward. There's been a call for previous roll. Is there any objection to previous roll? Hearing no objection to previous roll, the minutes from June 8th are adopted. We don't have any other items on the agenda for today's meeting. I believe that that also addresses any of the board bills that are currently pending before we go down for summer recess at this juncture. So if there's any other questions or items of discussion from members of the committee, are there? I don't see any hands, but give it a second. I don't see any. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
And move, we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Second.
All right. With that, the meeting of the Transportation and Commerce Committee is adjourned. Thank you all for your time this afternoon.